I spent a lot of our engagement season wishing that I had somebody else's life, whether that was their timeline or a version of what my engagement season should have looked like. And that took a lot of joy out of one of the most beautiful seasons that God has ever given us. And I guess this episode is really just me verbally processing those feelings. And if you've ever felt that way, then hopefully this can help you process them as well.
Okay, so with that being said, we are Ross and Ava. We're a Christian couple who has been together for over 5 years now.
Over 5.
We've been engaged for about a year.
Almost.
And we just love Jesus a lot. We love each other a lot. And we have gone through a lot.
Yeah.
Made a lot of mistakes and learned a lot so that hopefully we can help people that are not engaged yet or going to get engaged soon or that are engaged.
Or that are single.
Or that are single.
Or that are just Christian.
Our goal is to help anyone specifically that love Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully this is something that Ava's definitely dealt with.
Oh yeah, still dealing with,
Yeah.
still figuring out. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Tell us tell the class.
Okay. So here's the reality of the situation. And I feel like a lot of people struggle in this. And when Ross and I sat down to kind of talk about like what we wanted this podcast episode to be about, this just like immediately came in my brain because contentment and jealousy is just something that I've consistently struggled with, especially in engagement. But it's definitely been something that's been heavy for like a lot of the time I've been dating you, at least.
Yeah.
So it kind of started out as this whole thing of like, you know, you're in high school and like everyone's got a boyfriend. Okay, well, like I want a boyfriend too. Like I wish I had a boyfriend. My friend over here has been dating her boyfriend for 2 months. Like I wish I could have a boyfriend. But then it kind of escalates into like, you know, you're finally dating somebody. But then like when we were dating, I swear it was like every time I got on Instagram, it was like somebody else got engaged. And I'm sure that you can like speak to this as well, but it was like I would constantly be saying like, guess who got engaged? Guess who got engaged? And you know, like we have a lot of Christian friends and like, you know, as a Christian, it's stereotyped, but like it's pretty typical for you to get married like younger. And you know, so we're young, but we're at that age where like all of our Christian friends were getting engaged. So like everyone was getting engaged and like that was like, oh, like I just want to get engaged. But like God had made it very clear to us that like that was not the timing yet. But then it was like, now we're engaged. And now it's like, now I open Instagram every day and everyone's getting married. And like everyone is like getting married and getting engaged and getting married in less time than we've even been together. Like they're doing that within a year. And it's just like, it just becomes so frustrating because like you want to be so content and you want to be so happy in like the season that God's gifted you, but then you see everyone else around you like living the life that you want and that you're longing for, and it's like you feel like you deserve it more than them, or like that, I don't know, it's just like all these feelings.
Yeah, it's hard to see, especially on social media, just because it's like there's not like you don't see the build up to their moment, you just see the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that there were so many moments that we were not engaged yet that everyone was getting engaged.
Everyone and their mom was getting engaged.
Hopefully their moms were already married, but but you were like showing me picture after picture after picture of like,
and I think that got like annoying for you
it
too.
It did get, honestly,
because it was almost like I was like showing this to you like, okay, like when are you gonna do it? But then we had clearly like said to each other, and God had clearly said to us like,
we got a time.
It's not that time, like yet, and I don't know. But I like just can't help but like feel bad because I know how blessed I am in my season. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many other, and I was just talking to my friend Haley, hey, we were just talking about this today, and like how there are probably so many people that are longing for your season. Like there's probably so many people that are longing for my season. And like, I am eternally grateful for what God has given me. But like, and that being said, I just can't help but be like, you know, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
For not being content.
I mean, I think it's natural to long for the next season.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's natural especially for a relationship, when it's like emotions are like that's the biggest part of a relationship, it would seem like. So it's got to be natural. Like, okay, we've been together for we were together for almost 4 years, for
No,
over 4
over
years,
4 years.
when I proposed. So it's like, for us, we had a very different
Yeah.
scenario. So
Yeah.
let's just like give that backstory for anybody that is
Right.
watching that doesn't know. We met when Ava was
I was 15,
You
so
were a
I was a
sophomore?
sophomore in high school.
and I was a senior in high school. So whereas a lot of people started dating and they dated for 6 months, but they were already in college or out of college, and then they get married after a year of being together total. That wasn't realistic for us.
Right,
And
obviously
even
not.
like as we started posting before we were engaged, like we were posting together.
Yeah.
People like came at us
Yeah,
in
they
the
were like,
comment
"Why aren't you
section, like,
engaged?
why aren't you
Like-
married yet? And I get it, because again, it is a very Christian stereotype or theme that, like, if you are in a relationship with somebody, you should like there should be no wait. Why are you waiting?
Yeah,
to get
like,
married?
why are you waiting if you know they're the one, or if you know that, like, they're going to push you in your faith, or equally yoked, like, all the things. Yeah. It's like, why don't you just do it? Yeah, and we did have a lot of people coming at us. But, like, that didn't help because, you know, we knew the timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So again, like we knew the timeline that we felt like God had given us, and there were definitely moments that both of us just got tired of it, even without seeing other people getting married.
Yeah.
But then to
yes.
see it all happen,
But then to
it's
see
like,
it happen to other people just made it all the worse. Like,
Yeah.
it made it so much
I mean,
worse.
the amount of times that we asked, like, should we just elope?
Yeah.
There were a lot of those moments.
There were a lot of
Probably a lot
moments.
more from me, because it was like,
Well, yeah, you were so much farther ahead of me in life.
yeah.
Not so, but like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, I want to ask you some questions.
Okay.
And I don't know how you'll answer. So
Okay.
I do think that this has been something that you've dealt with more than me,
Yes.
to be completely honest. And that I have a feeling is probably the case among a lot of relationships. I don't think that guys deal as much with comparison. Maybe they do. Maybe it's just me. But we tend to deal with more with different issues.
Okay.
So you're comparing your life to others. So I wanted to ask you some of these questions. Anyway, who were you comparing yourself to? You don't have to name them, but what did their life represent to you?
So, first of all, like I've kind of already stated, a lot of the people that I was comparing myself to were people that I followed on social media. And it wasn't just people that I followed on social media. It was like influencers, okay, like whatever. But these were like people that I practically knew in real life, and like I was like familiar with.
Yeah.
And it was like multiple people. It wasn't like I can't even just single out one, but it's like I think the thing that got me the most, and I can't exactly remember how you phrased the question, like what did it represent for me? But like the thing that got me the most was almost like how short their timeline was compared to ours.
Yeah.
And again, like we've stated, our timeline was obviously set up the way that it was for a reason. And I was 15 when I met you. Of course, I'm not going to get married to you within a year. Like, no, I'm not doing that because that's crazy. But it was like people were meeting each other, and I was seeing them post about, oh, they started dating. Oh, okay. 8 months later, okay. Like 6 months after that, they're married. And it's just
Like in the scope of our engagement, we've seen people start dating, get engaged, and get married.
Yes.
Like
and
that couple has done all of those things while we have been engaged.
Right. And it's just like, that just really puts me down because it almost represents in a sense to me that like God is favoring like either their life or what they're doing over what we're doing. But that is just obviously completely the wrong mindset, because God has set aside specifically for us like what he wants us to do within this relationship, and even what he wants us to like talk about and like, you know, relate to for other people, because like we've experienced it and that's something that we can help others with. But it doesn't change the fact that it literally sucks. So
it does.
Yeah.
Okay, was there a moment that you actually thought that like God messed up our timeline?
Not messed up. No. I don't think I ever thought that God made a mistake. I think it was just that, like, I didn't understand.
Yeah, I think that we both get, like,
we get it.
God didn't make a mistake in any of this, but, like, why is it
But,
this
like,
way?
why? Like,
Yeah.
I think it was more of just a confusion rather than, like, I was never angry at God. I was never, like, questioning him necessarily. It was more like just not, like, I was questioning him, but just not in that way. It was just questioning, like, what's the purpose of this?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a easy question to ask when it's like there's comparison because you're seeing all these other people do it in their
And that's for
timeline.
anything, not just engagement and
Yeah.
like anything.
But to ask like, well, why is it this way? But then you have to, like you said, I like the perspective that other people probably are envious of
yeah.
our timeline.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like we would have appreciated a little bit quicker go at things because when we get married, it'll have been
5.5 years,
yeah.
over 5.5 years.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a long time. That's a long time for some people. Like some people, it's like they're engaged for 6 months, and before that, they dated for 3.
Right.
And it's like for us, that's just not the case. So why God did it? But looking back, there are many instances that we can just like. That's why. Clearly.
Yeah.
You're in a sorority. Like I'm out of
Yes.
college now. If we were married right now and you were still in a sorority, things would probably not go the best.
But also just even like other things, just like experiences that we wouldn't have been able to have had we been married, like, this podcast, for example. Like, I mean, we're going to still have a podcast when we're married, but like, would we have jumped on that and been able to dedicate as much time as we have to it? Like, I don't know.
Maybe
and also, would we have been able to like talk about the things that we've talked about?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you ever feel afraid to tell me that you were like comparing, like maybe when you were seeing some of those posts come across and you're like, oh, look, some of these people got married or these people got engaged. Like, was there ever
No,
like
okay. I was never scared to tell you that stuff, but there came to a point where I was like seeing that stuff, and you're like my person. Like, obviously I want to tell you everything, and like you're the person that I relate to the most and all the things. But there was a point where like I just kind of stopped showing you that stuff because like of the frustration that you had in seeing it, because it felt like I was saying to you, like, oh, we just get engaged. Like, no, we can't just get engaged because we've talked about it 50 million times. Like, we know when we're getting engaged. But, yeah. So I wasn't scared to tell you because I knew you would understand.
Yeah.
I was just scared to tell you because I knew you'd get frustrated. But I wasn't scared. Just refrained.
Okay, so back on like just the engagement train as a whole. Mm-hmm. What part of engagement has left you feeling the most disappointed? Wait, let me rephrase. What part of engagement has felt the most disappointing compared to what you expected?
I thought that I was going to be relieved. I thought,
oh wow, I'm engaged, everything's better now.
Right. I thought like
Psych.
I thought that everything was going to be fixed once I had a ring on my finger.
Bro, it's like the opposite.
It's like literally the complete opposite. And we had people tell telling us saying,
now I will say, like, being engaged is great. Like, now it's not that I'm more confident really even, but
it's just that like everything around you is confirming it. Your family confirms it with you. Your friends are confirming it with you. It becomes real. You have events that you're going to. Like, this is happening, people. Like, you are getting married. And I thought that all those things would, give me peace. And they do. Like, those things are fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
You like looking at your ring.
I love my ring. It's so pretty. But.
Why are you talking like that?
But the issue is that the devil doesn't like that you're engaged. And he sees a strong Christian relationship and he tries to tear it down.
So basically, the way that I envision engagement is it's like the middle ground. Mm-hmm. Like dating, the enemy will come after you, but not so much because nothing is like super set in stone. And then when you're married, it like is completely set in stone.
There's a
When you're
covenant.
engaged, it's like it's right in the middle. Like you're about to be set in stone, but you're also like a little bit more set in stone than you were when you were dating. So he's like coming at you like, I swear it has been the hardest.
This has been the hardest season. And Ross and I made a video like on Instagram like a long time ago, like during the beginning stages of the engagement season. But how like it's not like, obviously there's spiritual attacks in the areas that like you would expect, probably, like
Sexual
right, like
temptation.
like we know, like we get it. But there was also spiritual attacks, and that's like when people said to me like there's going to be spiritual attacks in engagement, like that's what like that's all I thought of. Like, how else would he attack us? We have such a solid relationship, our communication's great, like all the things. But then it was like he was attacking us from so many different angles that it was like so odd, because he was feeding, do you remember this? Like he was feeding us lies. Like at one point it was like I was being fed lies about Ross's family. And like those were thoughts that I never, ever, ever had before. Ever had before about his family. But somehow he was like putting in my head that like just these very unhealthy thoughts about like his family, his parents, and like it was just awful. And like Ross and I, like we had to talk about it, and we talked about it also in marriage counseling. That was a super beneficial tool to talk about it with our pastor. But like then I think it was Brennan who brought up like these are lies.
Yeah.
Like these are not this is not truth. Like
Yeah.
what you're saying and what you're thinking about it, like the devil is allowing you to believe things that are not true.
It definitely helps to have a spiritual mentor who is married that can like kind of
Yeah.
that's been through the because I think that it's definitely a common thread across anybody who's been engaged before.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty common that it's the most trying and hardest mental season probably in the stages of relationships, because you go from dating where it's just kind of fun to engaged where it's like a little bit more serious, and yeah, he just comes at you. So to have some perspective from other people is big. I don't know if I really have anything that's been disappointing. I think that, like you said, it feels like when you get engaged, it's all going to be like frolicking through fields and holding hands and planning a wedding, and it's going to fly by. But I mean, our engagement is, for us, it's going to have been a year and 4-ish months.
More than that, 5.
Is it?
I counted it the other day.
Yeah, so that's a pretty long engagement season. And we were
Yeah.
done planning the wedding after 3 months.
Right.
And so, really, you were done planning the wedding. I'll give you that. I wanted to help, but I think I just knew that I maybe needed to butt out. Anyway. But now it's just like, okay, we're engaged, cool, but it's
Yeah.
lost its luster a little bit,
Yeah.
and now it's just hard.
Yeah. Yeah. All the initial like excitement has kind of dwindled.
Yeah.
But
And
it's still exciting.
It's still exciting, but now it's so easy to just
But-
like be like, okay,
But
like
but that's the thing. Like that's what I was saying at the beginning is like there was all this excitement in the beginning, but now that that we've allowed ourselves to focus on the fact that our engagement is so long compared to others, it like almost sucks the joy out of like what this season is supposed to be for us.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a sweet season.
Sweet season and a season of growth and like just like
Preparation
and love,
But
all the things.
We get it. Like often it feels like when you're engaged and you've been engaged and you're ready to be married, it feels like, gosh, I just want to be married.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to keep living this way because I haven't said my vows yet. I haven't gone through the actual process.
Yeah.
Because in our hearts we have.
Yeah.
In our hearts we're ready to be married. Mm-hmm. But now it's just the timetable is taking what seems like taking forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing, okay, so here's the thing. Okay? Here's the thing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, honey. Okay. The thing is that through all of this realization of the unhealthy state of like my mind through all of this, because I want to enjoy this season so badly, but I constantly feel held back by the fact that I'm constantly comparing, is that I've just come to a realization that this is all stemming from this is all reflective of a distrust in what God is doing currently in the present. Like, we know that God is doing something, but there's almost this underlying feeling of like, but what is it? And like, where is it? And like, I don't see it. And, you know, we say all the time, like, that, you know, God uses every season for a reason, and
I hate that.
all these things, and like, we're supposed to learn something from like our ups and downs, and like, we obviously know that's true, but it just feels so stagnant compared to other people that it just makes it feel worse.
Yeah, sometimes it's even just like, well, God, that's great what you did for them. Why couldn't you have given us a shorter time?
Oh,
Like, why do you think that we needed this long to be ready?
but here's the thing. Do you want to know why, Ross?
Tell me.
Here's the thing. This is why. This is why God didn't give us the same thing that he gave so and so and so and so in their engagement season.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Okay. This is why. Because, first of all, here, let's make 2 points here. First of all, he's teaching us something that he didn't need to teach them, because he had to teach them something else, right? So, like, maybe we had to learn patience, right? Maybe we had to learn patience. Maybe we were praying for patience, because I was praying for patience, okay? And I didn't think God was going to do this. Thanks a lot.
God does answer prayers.
But he does answer prayers, not always in the way we want him to answer prayers, but he'll do it. And he was teaching them a whole different lesson that, like, we don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know their life. But then the second thing is, like, if God put their plan on our life, like, that's not gonna work, because God has designed every single person and every single couple's specific plan exactly the way that he wants, because we all have a role in the kingdom, and we all have a role in, you know, what God wants to see us do, what he wants us to do for his kingdom and evangelization, and like all these different things. So if he gave so-and-so and so-and-so's plan to us, we wouldn't be able to like bring fruit to the kingdom. We wouldn't be able to bring people to him, because like
Our lived experiences required a different set of...
Yes.
Yeah.
And what God sees us thrive in is just completely different. Even though what we think that we're going to thrive in is what they have, he knows what we're going to thrive in is what he's given us.
Yeah.
Like, he's so intentional about everything. And I think sometimes it's like we lose sight of the intentionality of Jesus, because as humans, we just always think that our plan is better. Like, that's just, humans have an innate want for self-control. They just want control. Control is such a huge thing. I want to control my life and the things that we do, especially living in like America and being like independent people. Like, we just want to control everything. But like, God is so sovereign. And I think it's important to understand that he's sovereign, but his sovereign is good. And it's never meant to hurt us.
Yeah.
It's always meant to see us to our fullest potential.
That's the thing that we've had to keep coming back to. Like, there's a reason we might not get it, but we trust God, because he's never proven to fail us.
Right.
I mean, there have been so many things that I've hoped for and asked for, and it wasn't until I got there and looked back that I realized that, if I would have gotten it when I wanted it, then I would have not been ready for it at all.
And that sounds so cheesy, but it's like, it's so true.
Yeah. I mean, that's the refining nature of who God is. There are things in our lives that we can't see. He needs to put us through the fire, put us through the pressure, so that we can be refined and get to where we need to be. And it doesn't always make sense to us in the moment, because we put our blinders on, and we want what we want, and sometimes we're not willing to give up what we need to give up. A lot of the time, that's a problem too. But then sometimes it's just simply,
But maybe what that is jealousy.
well, yeah, sure. But also what it is like, it's all perspective. A lot of the time, it's all perspective. We have been so frustrated that we have to wait a year and 4 months to get married after already having been together for 5 years. And to us, it's just frustrating, because in the moment, I want something different. But if you flip that on its head, why are we having to wait that long? Maybe it's because we met when we were 15 and 17. And if we got married in 6 months, we would have been 15 and 17. And that would have been bad.
15 and 18.
Probably right. But you have to, if we look at it the way that I think God probably looks at it, he's given us a blessing.
Yeah.
In the fact that we've gotten to grow up together.
Absolutely.
We've gotten to go through life together. We graduated high school together. I have now graduated college, but we've done college together. And we have gotten an opportunity that not a lot of people get.
Yeah.
High school sweethearts, like that is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But yet we still want to rush because, God, why have you made us wait this long?
Right.
But why are we asking God, how dare you make us wait this long? Instead, we should be thanking him for the blessing that he gave us, and that's lifelong best friends.
Yeah. And I think that attitude of gratitude.
Right, shut up.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I think that perspective of gratitude is something that really is pulling me out because I'm not completely through this. So just being real and honest, this is still something I struggle with. But I think that perspective is something that is pulling me out of this hole that I'm in. And just like gratitude is so powerful.
Yeah.
It has the ability to what you're saying, to shift your perspective. And like God calls us to have grateful hearts. God calls us to, thank him before everything else. Like, I don't remember where it says it. I think it's a letter that Paul wrote, but like give thanksgiving, like give thanksgiving to God and then bring your requests to him. Like he doesn't say, oh, let me help you with all your things and then you can thank me later. Like it's give me thanks for what I've given you now. Give me thanks for who I am and what I've allowed you to do up to this point. And then ask me for what you need and what you want. Yeah. Because like if you have a grateful heart, then what you need and what you want becomes so little. Yeah. And you just start to see all the things that you really do have. One thing that I did a really, really long time ago, and I don't do it anymore.
I think you were in a completely different headspace. If
I was.
What you're getting ready to say is what I think you're getting.
I was.
You're in a different headspace.
Yeah, I used to do this thing where I did my blessing of the day every single day.
This is literally the reason you haven't done this in a while is because we don't use Snapchat anymore.
No, and that's why. But I had a Snapchat private story. You gross, disgusting. She
was beginning her influencer journey on Snapchat private story.
I had a Snapchat private story that was purely my blessing of the day story. And I had some of my close friends on there, some of my friends from school, Ross, obviously, because I had a crush on him. Actually, no, we were dating. Yeah. No, we were dating. Sorry. But,
that's for Gabe.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. But I would go on there every single day at the end of my day, and I would post one thing in my day that I was grateful for, whether I had a good day, whether I had a bad day, whether that was a day where I was literally getting on my phone and saying my blessing of the day while I was sobbing, crying because I was
trying to force that attitude.
Not okay. But yeah, I was like, gratitude is an attitude shift.
One of our values at church, at City Light, is joy is our attitude. And why is that? Because anything with the suffix, I researched this, anything with the suffix of itude, like attitude, gratitude, blabitude, whatever, is a state of being. And we can control that.
Yes,
because joy is not something, yes, it comes from the Lord. And because it comes from the Lord, we can tap into that whenever we want.
Yeah, joy is not circumstantial. Joy does not depend on your circumstance. It depends on your attitude. And so the same thing goes with how grateful you are. A grateful person is not somebody who is constantly looking at the negative things in their life. A grateful person is somebody who says every single day, let me see what the Lord has given me.
Perspective, man.
And when I think I did that for a year straight, like a year straight, every single day I got on that Snapchat story. And I had friends asking me if I didn't get on that Snapchat story and post something that I was grateful for, they were like, hey, what's your blessing of the day?
I think it helped people also share that perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I just had a different mindset that entire year. Like my mindset was so good. And I don't really know why I stopped. I think it just became like I forgot one day and then it became a habit of just not doing it. But I've tried to restart that multiple times and I just always forget.
I just had an idea. And if you have made it this far in the podcast and if you care and if you follow us on Instagram, comment below if you would actually appreciate this. What if we made what are they called? A group. What are they called on Instagram?
Oh,
it's like a
broadcast
channel.
Yeah,
broadcast
like a channel. Yeah.
If we made a broadcast channel
On Instagram,
and Ava we did a blessing of the day, and then like y'all could share your blessing of the day.
How fun!
Would y'all be down for that?
Yes, would you? Because if you're not, we're still doing it.
I'm gonna clip this. I'm putting on our story too. If you want that, just comment below.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's find gratitude in every single day.
Yeah, that'd be great to do that together to share perspective because it's really easy to get lost in pessimism.
Yeah.
And thinking that everything is just not great.
Yeah.
But if you can surround yourselves with optimistic people, with joy-filled people that can help you, can pull you into the mindset of let's get a perspective today of joy, then that is huge. It changes the way that you walk in your lives.
Yeah, it seriously does.
Yeah, we should do that.
That's a really good idea, Ross. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you so much. It's amazing.
All right, I want to ask you some other questions.
Okay, Ross.
If you were 100% honest, did you ever feel like God withheld from you on purpose?
Yeah. Do I ever think that God withheld from me on purpose?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think he ever did it? Well, that's not even a question. It's kind of a trick question, honestly, because, he does withhold from us on purpose because he has a purpose.
Because he has a better purpose.
Yeah,
he has a better perspective.
So that's a pretty softball, but kind of a trick question, but a softball.
You almost got me.
What part of our long journey has felt the most humiliating? Let me rephrase it for clippability.
Hate you.
What part of our long engagement season has felt the most humiliating, or really our whole relationship, because we've been together for over 5 years now?
The most humiliating thing would probably be how long we've been together.
But like, give a specific instance. Like for me, it's when people come up and they're like, "Oh, how's wedding planning going? When's the date?" And it's like they're probably expecting me to say in like the next few months, but it's still like 8 months out, 6 months out.
Yeah, I would say
and it's already been like a year.
Well, I would say that would be mine. The most humiliating thing would be like, oh, how long have y'all been together? 5 years. Oh, well, when's the wedding? Oh, it's not till next June. And then they're just like, oh.
Yeah, one of the most humiliating moments too. I can't even narrow it down to one specific instance, but it's right when we got engaged, and people were like, "Have you set a date yet?" And it's like January of 2025.
Oh my gosh!
And
we were like,
it's
June.
It's gonna be next June, and they're like, "Oh, so like June of 2025," and we're like, "No, of 2026."
June 2026.
And they're like, "Oh." It's humiliating because it's like, for most people, that is a long time, and even looking back on it, like, we made that decision because there were some reasons, and I think it was the right decision. But that even, if you don't have to, I would say don't be engaged for this long because.
Oh, yeah, if you don't have to, if God's not calling you to a longer engagement, like, don't recommend.
Yeah.
But also,
I think there are stereotypes that a lot of people just fall into thinking this is the right or wrong way to do it. Like, you have to be engaged for a super short time, but that can be stressful for wedding planning. Mm-hmm. Or you have to be engaged for a super long time, and that can be stressful on your
relationship.
Your relationship with temptation and with sin and that kind of thing.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, like, going back to that gratitude perspective, like, although that's a humiliating thing to say, you know, God's put us in that long engagement season for a reason. And like, we can be grateful for the fact that like we've had so much time to be engaged and we've had so much time to experience engagement and to grow in this season together, because we have done a lot of growth. I think most of the growth that we've done as a couple has gone on in this season compared to like our dating
We've
season.
had to work harder this season.
We've had to work so hard this season.
I think there is also part of just the spiritual growth period because we've been Christians for longer, of course, because we've lived more life now. But, you know, before it was like we still weren't, we were somewhat spiritually mature, but a lot of just like things that have happened in our lives, like your faith journey with your denominational, trying to figure out what you were, if you're Catholic or not. For both of us, honestly, that matured us theologically, spiritually. We learned more. We've both gotten planted into a church now that we're pretty involved with and that we're close with. I'm closer. I don't know if I've ever had spiritual mentors before, but I do now. And so there are those things that have gone hand in hand with our engagement season, which if we didn't have, I think our engagement season could have caused us to fall apart a little bit, but not.
Yeah,
not
we stay strong.
Not in the fact that like I wouldn't still love you, but in the fact.
Oh, I'm kidding.
That like we probably would have messed up a lot more than we have.
Yeah. Do you need to fix that?
Yeah, tighten it down a little bit.
That's tight.
That's tight.
Ellie, that's tight.
Okay, so when we talk about knowing that God is sovereign and knowing that his plan is right, it's sometimes hard to see that in the moment, but I wanted to get like specific and give specific instances of when like, oh shoot, I can tell that if I would have had it my way, it would have been wrong. And specifically for us, and I don't think this is specific to anyone else's life probably except for ours, but hopefully you can like,
what are you about to say, dog?
hopefully you can like compare this to your lives in some way and make it like
more
parallel. Like I'm sure there are things like this in other people's lives, but
what are you about to say?
Like your sorority. I've graduated college. I'm working a job, and it's like normal. Like I get home at 7, and like I am ready for the lifestyle of I get home at 7. Ava's home. We cook dinner, or dinner's already made.
Because I'm a woman.
We eat, and then that's the night. But Ava's sorority has a dance competition that I'm so glad that she gets to participate. I really am. You know that. I'm so glad that you get to participate in it.
I get to choreograph it.
You're great. You choreograph it, yeah. But because it's an extracurricular activity still, and other people in your sorority have jobs, those practices that also happen every night for like 3 months. They
start at 8 p.m.
Start at 8 p.m. and they end
last until 11.
Maybe midnight, maybe 1. You just never know. It might be.
Yeah.
And so that was strenuous on our relationship. And we even had people, like my mom told me that, like when I was hoping, like we considered eloping at one point, or I considered that. Like, let's just get married right now. And then we went through that season. And it was like, if we would have been married, bro, we would have had so many problems.
Yeah. I don't think that. Okay, so first of all, Katie does allow
Kappa Delta KD.
Kappa Delta KD Delta Gamma does allow its members to be married and be in the chapter. However, and we did genuinely consider like getting married and me just staying in the chapter. But yes, now looking back, and even just looking at how my life is in the present now, that would have been so unhealthy to start our marriage on. That would have been so rocky. And again, we were genuinely considering getting married this time, right now. We would have that whole spring semester
to still fight
married through. But that would have just been so crazy. And here's the thing is we say that God told us our timeline. We had this timeline we had the timeline of June 2026 from I don't know, not the moment we started dating, but God consistently put in our head, like, this is how long you're going to be dating. This is how long you're going to be together before you're married. And there were multiple times that we tried to skew that timeline.
Yeah.
There were multiple times where we tried to come up with excuses to say, no, it needs to look this way. No, it needs to look this way. Maybe if we do this, we can get away with this. And, all these different things. And at the end of the day, like, there was just never a peaceful feeling over that.
Yeah.
And at least on my end.
Mm-hmm.
And when we finally just concluded on June 2026, although we have a long engagement and although that stinks, like, it's been the best choice for us.
Yeah.
And God constantly put that in our heads because he knew it was best.
Yeah, and that's the thing is sometimes we know what God said and we just don't listen to him.
Right.
And
yes.
that's the thing for me. That's been very constant through a lot of different things that I'm passionate about music. And it's been a dream of mine for probably 3 or 4 years now to have that provide some sort of income. I don't even care if it's like, I don't want to be on tour all the time. It's not even like that. And I feel like I've heard God say, this given period of time, which is from this date, probably about 6 months out, it's going to start clicking. And that's been what I've known in my brain for like 2 years. But I've tried to force that so many times, and it has not worked. It just hasn't worked. And it's the same way for our engagement. We know that he said this given time, but we've tried to force it so many times, and it always has left us frustrated until we remember to submit to his plan, and then we feel peace again.
Trust, obedience is always better. And if you go back to our last podcast that we filmed last week, like, we talk about it too. And we probably just need to film a whole podcast about obedience because it's just so, like, we've learned so much about that this year. But, like, obedience is just always better. And understanding that God is not a God that, puts you in situations that are necessarily, like, harmful to you. Like, he might put you in situations to help shape you and mold you into the person you are, and that's not always easy. But he always wants you to be better. He knows what you can be. He knows the best version of you is possible.
Yeah.
And he wants that.
Sometimes it's simply, what do I need to learn? What do I need to learn? What do I need to go through? What do I need so that I can carry the calling that he's given me? So that we can be
married.
A strong, firm, married couple.
Yeah.
What do we need to go through? What do we need to learn?
And that's, again, and going back to comparison, we already said it, but I'll say it again, is like, what you and your person need to learn before your next season and stage of life with them is completely different than the couple beside you.
Yeah.
Because we're all different, and God has a completely different calling on each one of our, like, together lives.
Yeah. So what I was saying, actually, I am giving my first message tomorrow morning.
Ay.
And I really feel like this is very similar.
Yeah.
We have to go through a lot of pressure, a lot of heat, a lot of transformation to get to where God wants us to get. And Hebrews 12:10-11 says, God disciplines us for our good in order that we may share in his holiness. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it will produce a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. So in my mind right now, I'm thinking of our last podcast episode was about sleepovers and how we basically lived together for the past 2 years before marriage.
Yeah.
And he was, even now, it's been 2 weeks since we gave that up. But even now I can see that he is training us with fire, because it's not an easy thing. There's a lot of pressure because we would rather be spending the night. But he's training us so that when we're married, we can go through hard things. We can stand up against the lies of the enemy. We can stand firm as a couple together to not do what is wrong.
Right.
Because we've had to make hard decisions together in the past. We've had to make the decision that doesn't honor our own flesh together, but honors God.
Yeah.
And if we were married, and the first time that we had to go through anything like that was when we were married, we could have fallen apart.
Exactly.
And in real time, I'm putting 2 and 2 together and realizing that God is so good for that.
Yeah.
He is so patient with us. and he knows us well enough to know what we need.
Yeah. Yeah. Bars, Ross.
Thanks.
About to make me cry, dog. She will see you.
False. Jim! I'm gonna miss Jim.
You sound just like him.
False.
No, Ross. No.
Okay, well,
What bear is best? Okay.
I think I want to ask you one more question.
Oh,
I got to
awesome.
get back to my notes on this podcast because I just went to my sermon notes. Okay.
Notes. Okay.
Ross asks raw questions. That's the part of the script. Okay, so last question, and then we'll kind of land this plane here. If the engagement had gone perfectly as you would have wished, what would you have missed out on spiritually?
I would have missed out on, this is a really good question. I would have missed out on the lessons on communication. I would have missed out on exactly what you were just talking about. I would have missed out on the ability to manage conflict with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have missed the ability to grow spiritually with you. This has been a very spiritually, what is the word I'm trying to look for? A very spiritually growth season. A season of spiritual growth.
A season of no grammatical growth.
But it wasn't right, exactly. But it wasn't that I spiritually grew, it's that we spiritually grew.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And that would not, like, that just, none of the things that we learned this year would have happened. And you're right. Like, if we hadn't learned those things, like, we would have been going into marriage so less prepared.
Yeah. So much less.
So much less prepared.
This girl, let's take a pause
Okay.
real quick from anything spiritual. If you don't know what the ACT is, it's a standardized test.
No,
You take a test in
talking
math,
about
in
this.
reading, in science, and in English. And the highest score you can get on any of those sections is a 36. I got a 34 on the English section, so I'd say I'm pretty sharp in my English. Ava got a 35. She took it 2 years after me, and she got 1 point better on the English section than me. I don't know how.
And
I think she got lucky because there's
and
no way.
I will never let him live it
Yeah,
down.
there's no way. She just doesn't quite have the grammar.
Oh, what'd you get on the ACT overall?
A spiritual time where growth.
What did you get on the ACT?
29, 30, 31.
No, you didn't. I got a 30. I got a better score than you.
29. Okay, so gosh, love me anyway. I want you to like me. I don't have to be needed.
No, I don't have to be loved.
I don't have to be
Loved?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Botched Michael Scott quote.
It doesn't matter. The point is that I am better at English than Ross ever will be and ever has been.
Here's the truth of the matter. After we've gone,
And here's the
all
truth.
the places that we've gone.
This is the truth.
It is beautiful that your timeline is custom tailored to your life.
It is beautiful.
If we had everybody else's lives, then we serve a creative God.
Here's the truth.
And he wants to get us from point A to B in the way that he needs to get us from point A to B. We wrote a song about it. We didn't market our song very much, but our song Word by Word talks about how God's a great poet, God's a great author.
Yeah.
And if we would have written our story, then things would not have fallen into place quite like they have.
Right.
If you want to go listen to that song, by the way, comment poet on this and I'll send it to you. But
comment poet?
yeah.
Okay. Just making sure so I know what to comment.
Anyway, I think that's probably it. Ava, will you pray for
I would love to.
the pod?
Yeah, I would love to pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity that you've given just me and Ross to come on here and talk about just something that I've been struggling in, but also to hopefully just bring light to some other individuals about, like, you know, that their struggles are natural and their struggles are normal, and that there are other people that are struggling in the very same things of like jealousy and envy and, wanting other people's perfect plan and perfect season, but just coming to realize that it's not about, the perfect plan or the perfect season. It's about what you've perfectly planned for each and every one of us. So I just pray for the people on the other side of the screen, Lord. I just pray that they would know how loved they are by you, how you just have your hand over their life, and how just obedience towards you and gratitude for the things that you have given them will just give them a whole new perspective to what you can do and what you have done and what you will do. And we love you, Lord. Thank you for everything you've done for us. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Y'all, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
We're having a lot of fun doing the podcast. And if it is in any way something that you like, then you should share it, subscribe to our channel. We would love that.
Subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah. Go follow us on Instagram if you don't already, at Ross and Ava _. Same thing on TikTok.
Ross and Ava _.
At Ross and Ava _. We love you. We're thankful for you. We're praying for you. And tip of the cap to you.
And that's what we got.
Okay.
So,
bye.
See y'all next week. Bye.